Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. Today we're ranking all 8 Rocky and Creed training montages. So not much to say really, but just saying the Supergirl videos will be coming next week. So Supergirl still be coming Friday, Saturday, and then Falcon vs. Soldier will be the following week. Arrow season 6 will be in 3 weeks from now. So yeah, and then I got I'm gonna rank all the Marvel movies, ranking all all the fights between today's Sunday, so I might spend 3 days on the Bond video and then 1 day on the Rocky video. But don't forget to go check out what am I talking about? My Rocky playlist. And so yeah, let's get started. I'll talk more about this and then hopefully I can rank the Marvel movies tomorrow. That's a maybe, but I don't know. Let's get started. So here we have the old stand actually. Let that turn. Gauges are down here. Anyway, this is Greedo, I think that's his name. I'm not sure. But, whatever the guy from Jabba's thing in A New Hope. So, I don't remember what set he came in, so you're not going to see that in the description. The movie is A New Hope. Anyway, I love the headpiece. It's really cool. Back printing and front printing. Not much to say, just your normal kind of bounty hunter thing or jacket. Blaster, pretty cool looking. I like those little blasters because it looks pretty good in this angle right here. And yeah, just a cool figure, but nothing to report all that much. And over here, a little shit. Maybe next time when I'm in Michigan, which probably will be decently soon, I can do a cool little set review because I added a bunch of cool features onto it. And there's a mess of Lego parts. So yeah, figure review. Yeah, Rocky 5. This one's just weird because on one hand, I think it's kind of interesting that you have Rocky kind of training someone, but then I don't mind that part of it. But then you have the part where Rocky is training, and not Rocky. Yeah, then you have the part where Polly is training training Robert. Now that doesn't really work. Because it's just because he's trying to fight off his bullies. I feel like this movie's half a Rocky movie, half a Robert Balboa movie. I kind of would want to see a spin-off kind of franchise, not kind of like how the Creed films are, but maybe a little different on Robert Balboa. But the problem here is it's just extremely forgettable, kind of like the movie itself. I don't think it's bad necessarily. It's just easily the weakest of all of these. And it's the only one I'm not a fan.
To be or not to be dope, that's the question. Are you gonna stop or keep on rushing? Farther, faster, quicker than the next man.
Do it for you?
No.
Yeah, you
All right.
ready?
Come on.
Time. There you go.
Number 7, we have Creed. Okay, here's the thing with this one. I think 7 and 6, and kind of 5 as well, are kind of all kind of bunched together. But I think this one has the best scenes, as a put together of a bunch of scenes. I think it really works. But I feel like this is more of a great sequence of kind of seeing character development from both Rocky and Adonis than an awesome training montage. That's kind of how I feel about this one. And it's kind of odd because you kind of see Rocky going through chemotherapy and all that stuff. Apparently he has cancer. You see all of that stuff, which is great. But then the training stuff is just kind of forgettable. You have the scene where Creed is running down the street with motorcycles behind him. That was just kind of forgettable. In this one, I kind of feel like it's kind of forgettable. It doesn't really, amp me up to go work out or anything. Now that is, but I think it's better than Rocky 5 because it's a much better put together of scenes. So, and that's how I feel. Next, we have Rocky Balboa. This one I think is great. but it's just kind of average. Like I don't think it's a great as well put together of scenes as Rocky. I'm not Rocky, as Creed. But the thing I love about this one is you kind of see a bunch of character development with Rocky. You see him train with his dog. The speech from Duke at the beginning of it was great.
Horsepower. Heavy duty, cast iron, pile driving punches that will have to hurt so much they'll rattle his ancestors. Every time you hit him with his shot, it's got to feel like he tried kissing the express train.
This has a lot of good stuff going for it, but it's just kind of like, okay, that's another Rocky training montage. It's a great example of that, but it doesn't really exceed your expectations for what they're doing. It's like something that you're like, oh, that's another great chocolate cake. But it's not. But nothing really But it doesn't add any more extra ingredients. It doesn't add any more of that great caramel sauce. I guess. I don't know. I'm a fan of caramel. What do you want? So anyway, enough of my analogies. This is still good, and you see, I get that stuff from Rocky, kind of doing some cool training, like the weightlifting. I like the running sequence when he was running with his dog. That was kind of cute. But other than that, another one that's just kind of forgettable.
Yeah!
Okay, Rocky 3, the only reason why this one's a little higher than Rocky Balboa is just because it developed the relationship between Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa quite well. And I'm not gonna say it did it perfectly, it did it really well. But at the same time, it's just another one that's kind of forgettable because there's nothing like, it's not like the first Rocky where he's punching meat, he's just swimming. He's training to be I guess a better boxer, not less so. He's doing some normal boxing exercises, which is fine. It works for the movie and it works to develop their relationship. But as a training montage, not the best. But I could see why people love this one.
Harder. Harder. Harder.
Number 4, we have Creed 2. Creed 2 and Rocky 2 are kind of tied, 4 and 3. I put Rocky to the edge, just it's a bit more iconic in general. But Creed 2, the reason why I love this one is just because there's a ton of outside the box exercises, I guess. And then you have some of the inside the box things, no pun intended, with the whole tire fighting. The running sequences, I think, are probably some of the best in the franchise. Really, post Rocky 4, I think this is the best running sequence, this or Rocky Balboa. And I think this is the best of the later training montages that we've gotten from this franchise. And to be honest, I really do like this one. I just don't think it's as good as some of the others. I just don't think a lot of the main exercises are kind of forgettable. It's a bit too much like the Rocky 3 one. I think it's a little better because there's more outside the box exercises, to be honest. But other than that, it does have a decent amount going for it. You also see the Drago's training too, but when you have that combining with this, it just feels like it's copying Rocky 4 with what they did so well. And this, again, kind of forgettable. But I do think it's a little bit better than a few of the other ones.
Yeah. Speed! 45, 46.
Rocky 2 is also great, to be honest. This one, it really fits the movie. Great, it's just a great sequence. Starts with Rocky doing these clap push-ups, doing a bunch of normal exercises you see, but in a unique way, kind of. And I think it really works for the movie. The running sequence, probably the second best one, just behind the original Rocky, of course. And see him running with the children, that's just awesome. I love all of that. And I don't have any problems with this one, but Rocky 2 technically kind of has 2 training montages. I would have put these maybe right together. I would have put the first one maybe a spot lower because it's kind of too lower. Once you kind of see Apollo Creed training a little bit, not a lot. Nothing like what you saw with the Dragos in Rocky 4 and Creed 2. I mean, it's not like I really cared that much. And overall, I do think that this is a great sequence in the film. Probably one of the better parts of the movie. And I think the whole movie, like in general, is just great. Like, I didn't love it the first time I saw it, but the second time, I appreciated almost everything just a bit more, especially the training montage. And I think it's a great part of the movie. We have the top two, and I think number two, we have Rocky 4. Rocky 4, this is probably the one I think that I feel like people would normally have a number one. I don't really have any particular reason why it's not a number one. I just like my number one just slightly more. But honestly, this does feel like the kind of the king of training montages in the franchise. I could see why people would say that. I kind of agree with that. You have Rocky doing all these exercises. You have Rocky pulling sleds with Polly on it. You have him cutting trees, using an axe, using a saw, doing pull-ups, doing like this. I don't know how to describe it really. And then you see Drago working out, like you're doing a bunch of like, he's working on a gym, but it's an interesting gym. A lot of these things, machines, really except for the weightlifting, I feel like I wouldn't normally see in like a normal CrossFit gym, which is, so that's kind of interesting. And honestly, this is a great training montage. It's just not number one, only because I don't think it quite has like it's just not quite as iconic to me as my number one is, and it doesn't feel like it's just not quite as iconic. I'll leave it at that. My number one, of course, the original Rocky. I think this is easily my favorite of the films, and I think it has the best training montage. I think when Rocky's running up the stairs, that is just so awesome. And, I mean, the only thing I think could make Rocky 4 a little higher, at least as a training montage, I think just the element with the villain versus the Rocky training, I guess, the Rocky, what the heck. I mean, that really works for me. I mean, it didn't really need that. You just have Rocky just punching a bunch of chicken or whatever it is, beef, I'm not sure. And then you have him running, and it's that's just awesome. You have him doing like one-arm push-ups where he's switching arms, doing some jump roping, sit-ups. He's doing all those awesome workouts, honestly. And I really do like this training montage. It's filled with awesome character moments, which is the one thing I think that puts this one ahead of Rocky 4. It's just because Rocky 4 didn't quite have all of that, but this one did, and I think it is my favorite of all 8. So that's my ranking. So just don't forget to share your ranking in the comments below, or your thoughts as a whole. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Adios.